Saturday on Denver 7.
It's going to affect your performance, ability to swim. It could cause you to panic.
Today marks 1 week since a person went missing boating in the Cherry Creek Reservoir. What you can do to keep yourself safe ahead of a hot weekend out on the water. Wildfires are still burning south of the metro this morning. Why people are waking up on edge. And a fun surprise from some Rapids players is coming to life today. What this means for students in the community. And we are following some breaking national news at this hour. Welcome to Denver 7 News. I'm Jessica Crawford.
And I'm Katie LaSalle. 20 people were hurt overnight in 2 separate shootings in downtown Milwaukee. None of the injuries from either shooting have been reported as life-threatening at this time. These shootings happened in a crowded area of Milwaukee's entertainment district, just 2 hours apart. 10 people are now in police custody and 9 guns were confiscated.
And back here at home, educators, students, and parents are rallying at Cottonwood Park in Aurora. They're demanding Aurora Public Schools keep Sable Elementary, along with other schools in the district, open for the coming school year. Those organizing the rally say there's been changes to the original list of closures without their input. Everything kicks off at noon.
Well, for the first time in 3 years, grads are walking across the stage for their commencement at CU Denver today. The university is celebrating 2,200 grads for their 2022 ceremony, and that includes more than 70 doctoral and 400 master's students, along with undergrads from 21 countries and 36 states. It all starts at 9 o'clock at the Tivoli Quad.
Excited for them? Well, the Denver Colfax Marathon returns tomorrow for the first time since 2019. Air Tracker 7 flew over the course Friday as crews set up ahead of the 5K race this morning. Several roads will be closed down today and tomorrow. You can find a complete list over at runcolfax.org.
And it's been a very mild morning for those runners outside. Today we'll stay under a mostly clear sky, and then temperatures are set to climb back to the low 80s here in Denver. It's 66 degrees right now out at the airport. Winds nice and calm from the southwest at 6 miles per hour, but we will start to see some gustier conditions first over higher terrain moving across the plains. And you can see up near Vail, very little snowfall left there on the hill. Temperatures are in the upper 60s, DIA, Broomfield, and Bennett. Low 60s right now in Fort Collins. Upper 40s in Dillon, Leadville, Eagle, and Vail, and already 51 degrees in Aspen with 70 currently down into Trinidad. Your metro area fresh air forecast for today. Temperatures will be very pleasant through lunchtime. Low 70s expected by noon. High 70s to low 80s for those daytime highs. Partly cloudy skies through the second half of the day. There are those strong winds picking up from the southwest into the mountains, and calmer conditions expected later on this evening. We'll talk more about the next chance for seeing more rain arrive across the state coming up.
Cherry Creek Reservoir is back open this weekend. This is 1 week since a man went missing after a day of boating went wrong. And as Katie just mentioned, we have some nice weather in store for today, and that means more people are out on the water. Denver 7's Patrick Perez joining us now. And Colorado Parks and Wildlife says they have some things to keep in mind for safety.
Yeah, Jessica, perhaps the most important thing to keep in mind is to wear a life jacket, especially if you're paddleboarding, kayaking, even jet skiing, as we're seeing down at the boat ramp over here at Cherry Creek State Park's Reservoir. Now, CPW says the 29-year-old man who went underwater last Saturday after falling off an inner tube that a boat was pulling was not wearing a life jacket. Now, this time of the year, the water is still very cold, and that can affect your ability to swim, to float, even if you think you're a great swimmer. In Colorado, the law requires that you wear a life jacket if you're on a jet ski or an inner tube, for example, for good reason. Anyone 13 and under is also required to wear a life jacket at all times while on a boat. CPW says its rangers will often pull you over to make sure you're following the rules and keeping everyone safe.
They're out doing patrols and looking for those safety items. So you could be contacted by a ranger that's just going to check to make sure you have everything to keep you safe so you can have an enjoyable experience out on the waters.
So as you saw, the boat ramps are open again this weekend. They opened again yesterday. But we, of course, are going to expect to see CPW still searching for that missing man. They plan to use an underwater drone and search the shorelines for his body. For now, that's the latest here at Cherry Creek State Park. I'm Patrick Perez, Denver 7.
Patrick, thank you. Well, evacuation orders have been lifted for residents near Durango, but they are still on pre-evacuation alert this morning. La Plata County says that the Ute Pass fire started around 4 o'clock on Friday afternoon, burning northeast of Durango between Horse Gulch and Ute Pass. 30 acres burned, but crews have been able to slow the threat. At one point, 60 homes did have to be ordered to evacuate. The cause of this fire is still under investigation. Meanwhile, more than 200 firefighters spent overnight on the scene battling the High Park fire in Teller County. This fire ignited Thursday and has so far scorched more than 900 acres just west of Cripple Creek. No homes, fortunately, have been lost, but at last check, the fire is 0% contained. Officials say more than 100 people are evacuated, and officials are expected to give an update on the status of the fire any minute now. Denver 7 will continue to monitor firefighting efforts, both on air and online for you.
10 Colorado police officers killed in the line of duty are now immortalized in our nation's capital. Their names added yesterday to the National Law Enforcement Memorial. Among those recognized are Boulder police officer Eric Talley and Arvada police officer Gordon Beasley. Talley died responding to the mass shooting at the Table Mesa King Soopers last March. Beasley lost his life last summer when he was shot in Old Town, Arvada. The other names added include 7 officers who died after contracting COVID-19 while on duty. That's Mesa County Sergeant Stephen Weiler, Aurora Police Officer Eric Scher, Doug Co-Deputy Joseph Pollock, Elbert County Deputy Clay Livingston, Windsor Police Officer Ty Powell, and Denver Sheriff's Deputies Daniel Trujillo and James Herrera. Arapahoe County Deputy Charles Wilcox died in 1899. He was also added Friday. Broncos receiver Jerry Jeudy is out of the Arapahoe County Jail this morning. Jeudy was booked after investigators say he refused to return items to the mother of his 1-month-old child. There was no physical violence. He's been charged with second-degree criminal tampering with a domestic violence enhancer, a misdemeanor. The woman asked for charges to be dropped before a judge Friday. We heard from Jeudy's attorney, who claims the man never should have been charged or spent a night in jail.
I think it was extreme because I don't believe a crime has been committed. I don't believe my client did anything that would rise to the level of a crime, and having someone spend the night in jail because we have this, quote, moniker of domestic violence, unquote, that is too broad, applies without any kind of discreetness, which should have been applied here.
Jeudy is scheduled to appear in court again on May 31st. It's a sure sign of summer's return. Farmers markets, which ones are opening this weekend and what new features are being added on before you shop.
And one of Denver's longest running conventions is happening right now, what you can expect to find at Starfest on the way.